The 2025 NBA draft class is definitely one to remember. There's been so many drama and so many controversies around this draft class, with the whole Ace Bailey situation purposely tanking his draft stock, which makes no sense when you think about it, because he'd be making more money if he went a little bit higher. And then also with some of these draft reactions, some of these people clearly not liking the team they're being drafted to. And the topic of today's video is Hansen going 16th overall when he was a projected second round draft pick. And with this being a huge topic of discussion, is this some marketing stunt because the Chinese market is so big in the NBA? Or is this guy an actual hidden gem and could be one of the next great centers in this league, who people are comparing to Nikola Jokic and Alperen Sengun, who are both bona fide stars in this league? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be looking at both of these points and pointing out the cons and the pros to both of these perspectives in this sort of controversy. And this is even more breaking news because DeAndre Ayton's contract just got bowed out by Portland while I'm recording this video. So this actually brings up a whole new perspective to this story. But the thing is with Hansen Yang, he's actually a very intriguing player when you actually look at his attributes and how he is as a player. I mean, he's 7'2" and has good size and is a good defender. So you're thinking, why was this guy not drafted super high? And then when you watch his offensive game, it even puts more questions in your brain, because when you watch the tape, he has great offensive post work and has great footwork in the paint. Because the old school center sort of play has kind of been dying out and is basically non-existent at this point. And there are these new molds like a Jokic, like a Wembanyama. I will say Wembanyama's sort of stretch mold is definitely a bigger part of the center world, but the sort of Jokic thing is still pretty brand new, and the only two players that you can really compare to them are like Jokic and Alperen Sengun. But especially when you watch his highlights, you're thinking, wow, this guy's actually really good, and his game style can definitely transfer over to the NBA, especially when you compare it to other people's highlights like Ace Bailey, because Ace Bailey's shot selection is very weird and you don't know if it'll translate to the NBA. That sort of game style, when you have any shot selection, you think any shot's a good shot, that is very hard to transfer over to the NBA. You've seen that with recent players like Jalen Green, for example. However, with this sort of build and this sort of game style as a center, being a good pass-heavy center and having great court vision, we haven't really seen that not work out to an extent. There's no great clear example of that not working out. So this is why his mold is so intriguing. And he has great size for it and has great court vision. And for that size to have that high of a game IQ is, again, like a blessing in the basketball world, a blessing for any sort of NBA team. However, he was projected to go in the second round, and there are reasons for that. For one, he played in the CBA, and that is not a very good league. It's not very transmittable to the actual NBA. Another thing is, though, he is definitely a project player. His defense isn't the best in the world, and he is kind of slow for a center, and his shooting splits also aren't the best. I mean, obviously, him in the paint is definitely going to be good, but he is going against a lot weaker competition while he is in the paint. However, the intriguing part about his game is that a lot of these quote-unquote holes seem very fixable, but this is a huge swing as a pick. This shouldn't be sugar-coated. He's not going to go into the league and instantly be some crazy playmaking center, because obviously CBA and the NBA are two completely different basketball worlds. But again, the intriguing part and the reason why I believe the Portland Trailblazers took this swing is those type of players are the players that are going to put you over the edge of other teams, because Portland is lacking that superstar, and this guy has that potential to be the superstar for Portland, especially in an NBA where a lot of these centers are becoming the stars of their team again, but just not with the traditional center style play, and he does not play like a traditional center at all. And now let's go into the marketing side of it, because this is something you can't ignore. When you look at these other Chinese players like Yao Ming, they completely took over the whole NBA sphere over there and brought Houston and the NBA a lot of money, and this is exactly what would happen if this guy was a star. Even if he's a star or not, I guarantee Portland is easily one of the top teams, if not the top team being talked about in China right now about the NBA and about basketball. And again, that is very intriguing for a small market team. And the point people aren't really bringing up is that Portland is actually on sale right now, and they want the team to be bought, and putting in this figurehead that is going to bring a bunch of attention, is going to do numbers for marketing. Jersey sales are going to be through the roof. Games being streamed in China are going to be through the roof. This is going to bring Portland a lot more money than people realize. And when you are buying a team, you want profit, of course, because if you are investing in anything, you're going to want profit. And maybe the GMs or the owners told the GMs, look, we want to sell a team, we want to get as much money as possible. Draft someone that's going to make this product look intriguing to a buyer. And this could be what they are doing. This might be the only reason or one of the main reasons they're taking a swing on this guy. But again, it's also like, are the GMs really going to risk their jobs for marketing for a team that they may not even be with? That is, again, another huge point, because why are they risking their livelihood? Because again, might be their only shot at ever being a GM, and Portland isn't some fantastic team by any means. Are they improving? Yes. Are the GMs doing a good job? Yes. And this could be another sign of Portland taking a swing. They took a swing on Shaedon Sharpe, very raw prospect, and he's working out pretty well for Portland. Yes, he's injury prone, but he definitely has the superstar potential that he has shown in this league. Donovan Clingan, I wouldn't say was a huge swing or anything, but again, has been panning out. Great defensive center and definitely has great potential in this league. And now with this first round pick, I would normally say Portland with this new GM hasn't had that many bad first round picks. Of course, Scoot Henderson is on a huge bust watch. Scoot Henderson has definitely been improving, but just hasn't lived up to the potential that he was. This guy they drafted, is it for marketing? Do they think is the real deal? We don't really know. But then the DeAndre Ayton buyout happens. So they must have been intending on this to happen. So they're putting trust in this guy to be the backup center. Sure, he might not be the backup center day one because they do have Duop Reith, Robert Williams, who's probably going to get traded. And now they have Donovan Clingan, who's definitely going to be the starter. This brings a whole new realm of, this doesn't really seem like a marketing tactic. Was there marketing involved in the decision? Of course. It's inevitable to think about the amount of money you can make from this Chinese basketball player when there are apparently 300 million viewers in China watching the NBA. But again, this guy is a huge raw prospect. Obviously, the GMs are not shy from taking raw prospects. I mean, even Scoot Henderson was a known raw prospect. Even though he had this great potential, people knew that he was going to be a raw prospect, and maybe they can develop him through these other guys like Clingan, who is also young, and Robert Williams, who might stay, might not stay. Maybe they try to get a veteran center in this lineup to help this guy develop. But again, these are all my opinions. If you have any opinions on this whole draft pick, if you think it's the worst draft pick ever by the Portland Trail Blazers, or you think this could be a huge swing and a huge win for Portland, leave them down in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next video.